guys, welcome to Crypto Trends. I'm Silverbacked, and in this video I'm going to be answering the question of what to do now. We had BTC drop 6.5% yesterday in the last 24 hours. The reason for my timing now is to get onto this this video is we've actually just closed out the weekly candle and the daily candle. So you know, there's a whole bunch of data that gets reset, and so we can sort of take a look back, see what's happened over the last week, and basically use that data and the weeks previous as far as identifying what current trend we're in. We have been in a downtrend. If I go to my Heikin Ashi candles that I always use, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of red. That is the underlying trend when you're ignoring the volatility. There's been heaps of volatility, but just ignoring all that, the trend is definitely down, and it doesn't look great. I mean, this is a big fat candle for this week, but really it's only just started, and it's starting to poke up to the outside. It can turn around and go straight back down. But what I would do, guys, is obviously, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I trace the volatility up. So when I'm getting these green candles, I've changed to my normal Heikin Ashi candles. I'll be trailing my stop up to here, I would have got knocked out there. I would have jumped back in there, and then I would have gotten knocked out there. So basically I would have gotten knocked out at 97,193 on my last long. That's my last long candle. So all this 1, 2, I mean, like, that candle there would have knocked us out. So if you've been following this and the way I do things, you know that it's been 42 days since we were long. So just to let you know, I've been doing a lot of shorting. So now because we're in a short cycle here, or part of the trend, the reverse is true on Heikin Ashi as well. So what I'm doing is I'm basically looking at that worst point there, and then I'm basically trailing my stop where we see decision in the candles, which is now the top wick here. So essentially I would be short BTC unless it breaks out over 99,937. At the moment there's no price indecision. We are going to continue down by the looks of it, and that's like 6 weeks worth of data pointing at us going further down. So now look, we could pivot right here and just come straight back up and meet this area of 90 grand again, and then continue on up. Absolutely. But at the minute, and look, and also the way I run things is I work on exactly the way to use these candles, and that is to look at these wicks as far as this price indecision. There is no price indecision here, but this is a fresh candle, and there's probably about an hour's worth of data out of a whole week of that candle. So that could change completely different. So look out for this time next week for my update, and this might change to a doji, and then basically we'll be able to come down here and just like flip into a long on the following week. I don't believe that we're going to be able to go green from this week. If you want to go to the smaller time frames, it's a different story. But anyway, that's basically where we are on BTC. And again, I use these alarms, but you can do two things. I will that should there you go. That's an alarm I've set up there to let me know. This is what you can do if you want to do it for nothing, or you can use Apex Omni. You can go set this non-custodial DEX. You can go basically put USD in there, and go 1x short BTC, and have your stop loss at this level. You know, so you can be on the right side of the market. Anyway, moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum is in a downtrend. You are looking at I would have a stop loss level set up here. Where are we? Boom. I would have a stop loss set up at 28,839, but we're currently short. I'll mark that as red. XRP. XRP is currently a short. I would have my stop loss level at $2.96.65. Short BNB. Let me just get rid of all these markings. BNB is a current short. The stop loss level would be 659. Obviously, if this comes down and starts turning green, I'll be able, re-enter, obviously, and create a position down here. But until we get some price indecision or some change in trend or a bounce, obviously I'm net short on BNB. Solana, I am net short, and with the stop loss at $179.57, or just obviously, I would get out of it if it goes to that level, as your line in the sand. So net short, ADA. This was actually a current net long. Now I would have set it up here as an entry here on this green candle, and we've just got stopped out. So we're actually out of this at the moment. So ADA is a non-trade. You're not in it. You're not out of it. I'll be sitting in cash for that allocation. Dogecoin, net. Get rid of this. Net short with a stop loss up at this level up here. 40 cents is where I have my stop loss. There's no indecision or slowing down of these. In fact, the bodies are getting bigger. So that's definitely short on Doge. TRX is it's tracking sideways. Currently, I would be short, and you'd have stop loss at 25.11 cents. So make that short. Link, I would be net short. Let's go to this. And my stop loss level would be $26.45 on that short. H-bar, it was a net short, sorry, a net long, but the stop loss would have been there, and we've just triggered it. So I would be in cash. I wouldn't be in that at all. I wouldn't hold a position there. So that's it. That's it for the weekly. Thanks for joining, and if you want to get some insights on the daily, just stick around, and the last half of this video I'll just go through what I think is happening in the daily. What I'll do is I'll just take a screenshot of where these positions ended up. I didn't really work, did it? I don't know why this is not working, but oh, you know what? I'm recording this. Okay, so yeah, so I've just taken a screenshot of exactly what positions were, long, short, or whatever. A lot of shorts there, or either that or stay out. So we're going to change now to the daily, and I'm going to go through on the daily charts, and I'm going to look at exactly where I'm seeing opportunities or the current trend on the daily. So so that being said, I will switch to BTC now. So obviously this. Just want to check and see if I'm actually altering this as I do. Oh yeah, I am too. So that was yellow. Okay, so I've got to get another H bar for this. Hang on. That was weekly. This is daily. So I've got to get a different H bar for daily. Which market is this? Binance. So a non-Binance H bar. Alright, hang on 1 second. H bar USDT. Non-Binance. So we'll go Bybit. There we go. There we go. So I've got to get a different one to to what I'm using on the weekly chart. Those are all Binance data, and this one's all Bybit or a different exchange. So, and then I've got my different levels here. I've set up for just for my daily. So what I've done here is something that I've done with a combination of my free sort of vlogs I put out, and also I'm using this information to look at different levels that the price can go to as far as pullbacks on the way to continue on with its current trend. So for this video, I'm going to change the normal candles, just hollowed, and then I am going to overlay smooth Heikin Ashi candles, 6 and 6 of the settings, and this basically gives me an EMA. You can see there's an EMA sort of line here, and also it gives me a sell and a buy. So basically my bias, and I'm going to change to daily. All right, so my bias is set by the EMA, the smooth Heikin Ashi on the 6/6 settings, and then obviously I've got it's just telling me it just changed from green to red, the exact flip, the point where it flipped. So as you can see, BTC here, we're in a downtrend. So what I've done is I've marked out exactly where it could retrace to as far as what's happened previously. So we've got this whole bunch of data in here, and if I just go to here, you can sort of see, you know, there was a support there. There was support bounce there, support there, went up and got tested there for resistance. You can see up here we've got some resistance there. It bounced across, bounced back down to there, bounced up to there, and was rejected as resistance. Sort of rejected from that area there, come up and retested that area. So you got there's a few bounces around that area there. So this is basically an area where I've actually got you know, more than one you know, area where it's actually been bouncing off. So in other words, the high volume areas where it could pivot. So these are the sort of the areas that I'm looking at. Now if I go back to normal candles, you can sort of see exactly where it went because the line is not that accurate. It's very accurate and very good for higher time frames. But from this area here, if I was just basically going to grab this and I was going to go, all right, where's the last time it bounced? It would be right there. All right, where's the last time it bounced from there? It would have been right there. Where's the last time it bounced on this one? Would have been right there. Okay, so that's exactly right. So those three areas are where I could expect this price to come back to if it does retrace before heading and continuing down. Now I'm trusting this trend is going to be correct, and it is until it's not. So this is the first thing I'm looking at is my bias, which is this trend here, which is the EMA, and all this volatility. You know how volatile it's been, and you know it's been in a general downtrend. You can see here on the weekly, it's still current as well. You can see it's current downtrend using the EMA and smooth Heikin Ashi on the daily, and then these areas I can mark on my chart, and then when I go into the hourly time frame, which I'll reserve that for another video in my Substack if you're interested in doing leverage stuff. But you can get this confluence between weekly, daily, and 1 hour charts where it's really not breakneck paced, and I do some tutorials on how to set those up. So starting off with BTC, it is I'm going to mark it as red because it is a downtrend. So let me just get the trend out the way. Ethereum is in a current downtrend, as you can see. XRP is in a current uptrend that just flipped to downtrend. Wow, it just flipped. Okay, so I've got to get rid of that. It's an area of support. Get rid of this as well. Okay, so let me just get rid of all of these, and that will just leave me with the actual alarms I've got here. So, and what I want to do is okay. So if it is a downtrend, then I'm looking for where it might retrace to. So what I want to do is grab this and move it to it just because I went past it. It sounded off. Okay, so let me just look at this previous price action, and line it up with where it really. So if it does go back up, it would stop and retrace there maybe, because yeah, you've got this area there, you've got this area here, and it touches there. If you were going to do another area where it might retrace, you got here. You got a lot of you got a lot of bodies that are stopping here. You got a lot of bodies stopping there, and this is almost in line with that. And then the next layer would be this far one out here, where I would probably just somewhere around about here. That lines up with the tops of that, and also the tops of this one here too. So you got these areas where it stopped and reversed. You could almost say this one here is a zone. But if I was going to just say it's going to go on the way up as it did on the way down, that one's a definite one. I'm very confident with that, and that there's two touches. Yeah, so looking at that, those are probably the levels that I could say it could go to. I want to make sure that I'm aware that this can go as far as that. This one here, let's have a look here. So I'm going from here to here. Where's the next major pivot point? Probably here. Anything else match up there? A few match up with that. I like this area here because it's got that, and that, and then from here there is a lot there and there. I'd even go so far as to say that there's some levels here, but I would dare say, if there was a market maker or an institution trying to fill their orders short, going into here and using all these levels, filling their order as they go in a larger one-day time frame as it is here, just seeing these on the chart in the 1 hour time frame is going to inform us and be helpful. So this is actually an hour short. Sorry, that took a little bit of a while to look at it and stare it out. And in here, we've got a lot of previous price history. Let me just get this into a bigger screen so I can see it all. So here's the current price action, and then basically we're looking here to say there's the current price action, and then basically where do you think the price has pivoted most and had the most touch points? Definitely around this sort of area here. There's a lot. Based upon that, there seems to be a lot. Let me just take off my my extra data there. Seems to be a lot around about here, definitely. And then as we go up, around here, we're getting it up the top there, mainly. Where it stopped and reversed. Extremes. There you go. Yeah, there's your extreme there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was like support. Yeah. So it seems like there's a lot of there'll be a lot of volume in here too. So I would even go so far as to say I'd actually have that higher to sort of coincide with all of this area here. Again, here there's a lot of there'll be a lot of volume here, It all makes me want to actually bring that up a little bit higher to maybe support underneath these bodies of these candles and into the mixture here where you see a lot of price action has been. That means there's probably a lot of volume there when it was undecided. This one here, again, it probably would be a little bit higher, to get closer into that mix and just above this resistance. So above, so it's test, really competition up retest ended up here. There's a bit of activity here, whereas and a bit of activity here also, and a pivot here as well. Yeah, I really like that for a level. That is the 1 day. Okay, so that's sort of like framing up the 1 day. Okay, so we'll see these levels in the whatchamacall, in the 1 hour chart. Let's go whack the bias on there, which is obviously short. So from there down short, still current short, but now we've got some levels we can look at as well. Sol, and again I've done the same thing here. So we're looking at cleaning up the chart a little bit too. So okay, first of all we've got a bias which is short. Let's go through these. The bias. Something's actually green. 8 is actually green. Doge is short. TRX is green. What? Link is short. H bar probably green. Yeah, I was going to say it just got into the top 10, so there's a lot of money going to that. So go back to Sol where we were. All right, so I want to clear up the chart, and so I can see. I already know the bias, so I know where we're going. It's not really hard to see straight down, but I want to know where's the steps, where's the places where we had a lot of right at a support level here, aren't we? I mean, a lot of charts are looking like this, and a lot of commentary out there like that on the major coins, including Bitcoin. Wow. So, okay, well, if I just add an alert, and then moving up from here, well, if I'm looking over here, that would be the next main one, actually around about there. So we've got that was resistance, it was support there, it was resistance there, it was resistance there, resistance there, resistance broke through a bit, it was resistance there, resistance there. So I'm pretty happy with that level. Next one up, definitely around about here. I can see a lot. These ones broke through. So I mean, if I line it up with that, I mean, yeah, actually there, that's it. That's the ticket, because that was resistance. We've got 1 wick that shot through, but then that became support later on. So you can sort of see what's happening there. And then probably something in between, I imagine, would be there'd be another major point. There's a lot of activity here, which there'll be a lot of volume in there. Yeah, you can sort of see there's a lot of volume there, where we got price indecision, and then you sort of got a pivot point, sort of. I want to say it's sort of up there. It's close to the middle. You don't. Down here, you got a lot of volume there. Actually, you know what? The most touches I can see is probably around about here. Support, 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 support. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not evenly spread out, but that's basically what I'm seeing. So outside that, yeah, look, I'm happy with that, because that's the next point where it went up to and went back down. So if we retest it, we break through this, then we'll probably go to there. We break through that, we'll probably go up to there. This one seems to be like it's obviously missed out on, and I want to say that that's the recent price anyway. Let me have a look at that top one again to see. I mean, it looks as though let me just mark this. It looks like it would be nice to have one just there because it's resistance twice, but let me look at the previous. I mean, the whole point is to look left, right? Look left, correct. Yeah, that is actually a good spot. Yeah, probably deserves one there. Well, let me just do this then. Delete that. I'll put up another alert, so we just have another level. It's really I'm only interested in three levels for where we might hit resistance at a time. When I break this down to an hourly chart, you know, it's going to look like this. I'll get all my session times, and then basically, you know, I'll see exactly where it could actually revert back to retest before heading lower. Essentially, so that's Solana. ADA on the daily. Let's have a look. ADA on the daily. Let's get rid of anything else that's on there. ADA on the daily. We've got our bias now. We just got to look at where our support and resistance levels are. As we said, we think it's going up, right? So because the bias is up, so where could it retrace to? So let's have a look. Looking at this, if we were going down to here, and okay, so the last point is there. The very last point is there. That was the daily low. Certainly could retrace to there. Below, if it breaks below that, it could retrace to there. Retrace to there. And then if it goes below that, it could retrace to here before going up. So those are the levels I want to know about. And again, that'll translate to, it'll show up on the hourly chart, so I'll know where they are. These are the areas where, again, I think could take 1, 2, 3 steps to get filled in the daily institutional traders or market makers. So if you do get pulled back to here, it could take those all 3 levels before it gets filled, before it goes up. There's one little sneaky area here where I'd like to just know that that's there, that's where it gets sunk below. You know how I'm making these levels, right? That's what happened here. So, you know, that's what happens when it goes like that and then it goes up. It's the market makers, or the institutional investors getting filled and liquidating longs while they get filled, and then sending it up. So that's it for ADA. Doge. Let's clean this up. Doge. Let's have a look. So over here, Doge, we're looking at a short. So the next level up here, where there's a real pivot, definitely that area there, 100%. And apart from that, the next level would be probably about there. If that fails, we've got another level just up here, which it seems to be quite a lot of price action around there, so I'd imagine. And then again, worst case scenario, so I've got it on there while I'm on the daily, will be up there. So that's where we're looking at as far as my alerts. Again, if you're in my Substack, when these alerts go off, I'll actually look at where they are. Looking for a pivot and trying to get an entry, and I'll be sending it through to the private chat for my Substack. There's links for the Substack below if you guys want to do any leverage trading, or you can be just trading this information spot if you want. TRX again is it's actually a long. Let me just, that's already on. Look at that, so consistent in price, hey. Each one of those is a day. It's almost like a stable coin. Okay, if I'm going to trade that, then I need to know where the next level low is. So if it breaks below here before going up, which I think it will, it would probably go down to sort of like this level of support. Jeez, I would probably have to say it's all compressed, isn't it? So probably there. I'd probably put another one just here. Definitely there. And then another one, obviously just down here, of course. That lines up with that pivot point there, and a lot of trading volume there. So that's it on TRX. Link I would Link is a short, so I'm basically looking to say if it retraces back up here first to get filled, where is it going to stop? That would be an area of interest. If it goes higher than that, I'll go there. Again, this is lining up with the previous levels where it sort of pivoted on the way up, and then the next one up would be, I would think, clearly would be up here. So we've got 3 different levels of areas there. Outside that, the next level would probably be sort of up here above this sort of cluster here and here. But anyway, 3 levels is enough. And H-bar. H-bar is a long, so we're expecting it to go long. So I'm expecting, if that does happen, you know, there'll be again, institutional traders or market makers that want to get filled down at these levels here where it's been tested before. So as we go down, those lower levels are this one here, this level here, and then below that would be just where those 2 candles have wicks, and then there's those wicks going into that level as well. I probably average between tops and bottoms of those. So there we go. We've got those levels there. And again, and if you want to know how to use these levels when you go into the 1 hour, essentially what I'm doing in my Substack is, let's say for example, you've got H bar. You've now got 1, 2, 3 levels that can actually retrace back to before getting filled on its way up. So what we're saying is, let me just go from here to a 1 day. If I changed out to normal candles and smooth Heikin Ashi, which gave us the bias in the first place. So what you'll see here is we've got this big long downtrend that lasted for 33 days. We've now just broken into an uptrend. Now that could last, you know, a week. It could last shorter, you know. It could have even been broken. So because if it ends up going down, that'll probably be turned into a red. But it won't turn into a red straight away because it ignores a little bit of the volatility. So it's most likely going to be a long from this area here. So probably a good entry to get long H bar here with a stop loss just at this level of 0.19, 0.5. You can see what I'm saying now. Again, I'm not giving away any secrets here. You know, Link is a short, but you don't want to get short here. You want to wait till it retraces back and get filled here. So you want to limit order back here.